Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna. We are in Warren, Rhode Island today, one of my favorite places, and we are in the Cutler Mill, beautiful old mill building, and we are here to see Hayley Perry at Loop by Loop. Look at this gorgeous entrance to her studio, and this is where the magic happens behind the store. So let's go in and see what Hayley is up to, what she's working on, what she's got. Here she is.
Hi guys! Welcome, come on in.
Come on in, let's look at some of the stuff as we approach. This is a gorgeous studio space, Hayley. This is gorgeous. And you've got it set up so beautifully as a shop, too.
Yes.
So, would you say you do a lot of punch needle?
I do a lot of rug hooking.
Okay.
Actually, not a lot.
Hooking
of
with yarn.
Hooking
these-
with wool strips.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to put my glasses on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this looks like punch, but it's not. It's hooking with yarn. You've got these gorgeous kits made right at the beginning of the shop. So many different things. This is a seagull, fox. Your packaging is gorgeous.
Thank you.
So many different choices. You're marketing some of them for kids, but grown-ups would love these too.
Absolutely. And people make them for their kids sometimes.
Totally.
Right.
Sunflower, pineapple, there's tons of this stuff. And even more complicated ones like this, little scrap bustery things. What a cool thing that when you walk in, you see all of this for sale. And already some seasonal stuff. There's 2 pumpkin things out here. That looks awesome. So those are a great thing. How much is something like that?
They start at about 35, and then they go up to, the bigger kits can be up to a couple $100, but they make a much larger thing.
So affordable for like a beginner to be able to get something because your materials are, the hook is included.
The hook's included.
The hook is included.
All the wool strips are cut, which is good for a beginner because not a lot of people have cutters.
That's right. Not everybody's invested hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in Townsend cutters and craziness.
Which is smart.
Yeah, so this is amazing. This kit comes with a hook, and these are beautiful hooks too. So, and obviously the hook is the right hook for hooking that width of strip.
That's right.
So all of these mystery things that as a beginner you look at and you think about and you second and triple guess yourself, have I cut the strips to the wrong size for my hook? Have I got the wrong backing? Is it too tight? Is it not tight enough? When you start with something like this, you don't even have to face those kinds of
Yeah, and I was a beginner, and I did buy my first one from Hayley.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So I still use the same hook.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely cater to beginners just in style of hooking as well, because it's that wide cut wool strip. It's easy to see, it fills in fast, so it's great starting point.
Yes. So, and I would say like it's good for beginners because a lot of it looks primitive, but it looks more than primitive. You've got a lot of primitive style, but you've got a lot of whimsical stuff too.
Sure. It's very colorful.
Yeah.
It's not that darker kind of folky style, even though it's the same type of hooking.
Exactly.
It's a lot brighter, I think.
Super colorful. Here, get some of this stuff on the walls. Like these are your own patterns.
Yeah, everything's my own pattern.
Yeah, I love this one up here.
The bees and
Gorgeous.
dragonflies.
Yeah,
And
most of them are patterns that are for sale, except for some of the really whimsical one, like the one with eyes all over it.
Yeah.
That's more of my personal portfolio. So I have
Okay.
a mixture of things on the walls here. But most of what you see is a pattern that's for sale or a kit that's for sale.
so at the very least, if people watch this video and they love something that they're seeing on the walls, at the very least, write and ask if it's for sale.
Absolutely. Yep.
And these little ones are really
those are
cute.
little
Wow,
beginner
look at
kits.
those.
Little ornaments.
Look at those. It's the right time of year.
Yeah, the little sheep.
And they come with a little hoop.
They come with a little hoop and the hook.
Oh my God, is the hook? There's the hook.
Oh my
So
gosh,
look at
so
that.
cute
That is
for
really
Christmas.
compact. So how much is this kind of a
That's
thing?
$30.
This is 30, but you know what? You've got your hoop and you've got your hook and you've got a finished piece.
And 3 ornaments.
And once you finish this, you've got the confidence to work on a larger piece.
Yes, definitely.
With your hook.
Absolutely.
So that is well worth it. These are super cute. Look at this. How nice is that?
Yeah.
That is super cute.
Or you could use them as coasters.
You could use them as coasters, lots of different things you could do. And there's some nice stuff back here too. I love how you leave the backing showing. Do you usually work on linen?
I do.
Yeah.
I do work on linen. A lot of in my kits they come default on monk's cloth,
Yeah.
except for the pillow kits. Those come on linen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's important to know. Everything will come on monk's cloth except if it's a pillow kit or you expressly talk to Hayley about it.
But yeah,
things will
there's
come on monk's
there's
cloth.
an option to buy on linen, but
Yeah.
I make them in the shop here, and everything you see there is on monk's
Yeah,
cloth.
linen's just
And
a
you
little more
have to
expensive to buy.
Exactly.
As a person making patterns, it's just more expensive to buy, so you have to kind of build that into your price nice and back out.
Yeah.
And then you've got bits of wool under here, colors that people might
There's
need.
so much wool.
Oh man, it's a hooker thing, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some dyed ones and then some mill ones, like printed ones. Really nice because of course they're all going to come out
Do you
differently.
do your own dyeing?
I do, yes. So I don't have a dye studio here,
Yeah.
but I dye at home.
Yeah.
So all of these, like yardage up here, anything that's solid pretty much has been dyed by me.
Okay.
And I'll dye, 5 or 7 yards at a time. And then these are kind of specialty painted wools that I do. So these are, they're a bit more expensive because they take a lot more time.
Yeah, totally.
But I do all that at home as well.
Those are gorgeous.
Yeah, I saw these in your Etsy store, and they are gorgeous, and they are one of a kind.
Well, yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
important to know that. I mean, this is
Yeah.
like, it's honestly and truly a painting when you look at it. Now, these are so, when people are looking at them, the question that they always think of immediately is how do they hook? Do you have any examples of how, was this busy might hook?
I think if I have anything here. In this rug, I think that I used a little bit. I don't have any big areas. I think it's all at home.
Okay.
Some of these are tie-dyed wools that I've mixed in.
You get the very color changing.
Yeah,
Yes,
the variations in there.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like if you're a knitter, when you're working with a color changing skein, if you like the colors, you will like the way it comes out. But of course, you're not going to be able to maintain any kind of a pattern. You've got to be at peace with letting it loop the way that it loops, loop by loop.
Yeah, right.
And see how it goes. But obviously, if you like the colors, you're going to love the way that it turns out.
Yeah, great for a background.
Exactly.
You
These
can
are
use
exactly what you want.
Parts of strips too,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
yarn.
And when you've got big backgrounds like
Yeah.
this, you typically have open space with primitive type patterns. And when you do, you can really go to town with a cool background that's hand painted like Hayley's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say almost all of my backgrounds at this point are a variation of different wools put together. A lot of monochromatic wools that I'll put together to create a new kind of interesting background.
Yeah.
And that's like partially because in rug hooking it's easy to do that, add
Yeah.
multiple colors together to make an
Yeah.
interesting background. But also from a kit maker's perspective, it's a lot easier for me to put multiple blues together to make a kit
Yeah.
instead of always having to make sure I have one particular blue on hand.
That's true. That's true. Because, when you order a kit from anybody, it's not always going to be exactly the same colors because the dye batches always come out different. Same with knitting, same with yarn, all of that stuff. So it is good to be able to sort of fall back on blue is blue and it will be beautiful. And you
Yes.
just trust that what you're doing has been color planned.
Yeah.
Which it will have. But like what you did with this piece, you did so much. People are always asking about directional hooking. You did so much direct. Is this yarn that you did on top?
The teal color is kind of like a yarn roving.
Okay, so
Yeah.
pretty. That's got that fluffy, textured
Yes.
Canadian school look to it.
Yeah, and same with this is also roving. So I like
Oh.
to mix. When I'm doing my own portfolio
that's so
work,
pretty.
I like to mix in some various textures.
Yeah.
Just because it's more interesting for me.
That's right, because you do a lot of beginner stuff, so it's
Yeah.
good to kind of counterbalance that with
Yeah.
doing artistic stuff too.
For sure.
But yeah, you've done some beautiful horizontal work here, but like this sky, Hayley's done it. It's got a lot going on. It's complicated pattern. It's got a lot of geometry going on, but you could equally use something like one of those colorful backgrounds to create movement behind.
For sure.
So there's a lot of shortcuts. Having something as pretty as that wool is a great shortcut
Yeah.
for a lot of places.
Oh yeah, and it's just fun.
Yeah,
it's just to see what
fun.
happens,
It's
right?
so nice to work with beautiful supplies. When you're holding something that's colorful and you like the color and it speaks to you, it's the time of year, it's where you are at that moment in your life, all of that stuff becomes part of your piece.
Yeah.
And it's all things that you think about and remember. So it's nice to have nice supplies that you love to enjoy and see and touch.
Yeah.
Because they go by like this too. You
Yeah.
look at it and it's done. Like
I know.
Patrice's piece.
I
you
know.
finished,
Yeah.
You did in like a week and now it's over.
Oh my
I
God.
So, now you've got a lot of seasonal stuff already happening. Your pumpkins over there.
Sure.
And this is a gorgeous seasonal
Oh,
pattern.
thank you. Yeah,
That is really
something
pretty.
I actually did. So sometimes I write for Woolworks or I've done Rug Hooking magazine a couple of times, and sometimes the seasonal edition will like kind of force you. It's like, what am I
Yes.
gonna make? That's for a Christmas issue or something
Yeah.
like that. So I have a couple of Christmas things and a couple of fall things,
Yeah.
and it's a nice way to kind of like
bring you through the year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Figure
things to
out,
look
like,
forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's so nice to think about working on a holiday piece as we get closer to the holidays.
Yeah, and that is
Everybody
such a
needs it.
beautiful holiday piece.
It's so pretty. It's not like super traditional colors.
Yeah.
You've got the blue that's been so popular lately
Yeah.
with holiday stuff.
Right.
But I love what you've done with the horizontals on the tree. I love the shape of the trees, but my favorite part is the way you've connected it with like an ornament shape.
Oh,
That's
sure.
so, I've not seen that before. It's so
Thank you.
different and
Thank
it's
you.
brilliant.
Yeah, I'm big into like the pink Christmas.
Yes,
You know?
I mean, the vintage Christmas,
Yes,
right? All
yes.
me too. I love red, green, and pink, like coming back.
Yeah.
And then other things that have a seasonal feel, like your
Sure.
birch trees with the
Yeah.
birds, that still has a seasonal feel to it.
Right.
It has like a late fall, winter
Mhm.
feel.
Winter feel.
It's definitely a winter sky, you know,
Yeah.
very, very pretty and atmospheric.
Yeah.
Is this one that you sell?
This bird, yes, it's chickadees and birch trees, and that's a pattern and a kit that I sell on my website.
Oh, that is so
And
great.
I like that piece because it's kind of a testament to the abstraction of primitive rug hooking.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very kind of abstract piece. You're putting together all these abstract shapes to kind of make it happen. And sometimes I have people look at that and they can't find the birds very well.
No, it looks great. I love it.
They're seeing shapes and colors
Mm.
instead, and I like that about rug hooking. I like that it's so simplified. That Sometimes
Yeah.
you have to search for. what-
Yeah, no, that looks great.
It's
Yeah.
a good point, and it reminds me of like years ago I read this haiku poem. I forget who it's by, and I'll add the thing if I can. And it was something, I'm going to screw it up.
That's
But
okay.
it was something like out of the whole winter landscape, the only thing that was moving was the bird's eye.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminded me of that because they are kind of hidden,
They're sort of
embedded a bit.
camouflage.
And that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen lately? I've been seeing a lot of people selling birch wool, like wool that's going to. And
Yes.
this just goes to show birch wool is great and what a lot of fun, but you don't need the birch wool, right? If you're just using
Oh,
the right
sure.
colors,
Yeah.
you're just putting it in the right places like this. Hayley has it staggered in a way that birch trees truly are. So you just pull up a picture on the internet or whatever, you can do something with 3 or 4 colors
Oh,
here
yeah.
that will be just as effective as buying something new if you've already got these colors.
But it
This
is
just great with the
interesting how like subject kind of like now there's a whole new supply line that people are making, or some people maybe might feel like they want to make to kind of
It's always nice to have those things available. It's always nice to know what the shortcuts are too, because not everybody can afford to buy
Yeah,
new things
definitely.
each time they start a new rug or
Definitely.
have another thought.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see what your options are and
Yeah.
know that there's ways around supplies. And then there are people who hoard supplies forever and
Yeah.
do very little work. Thank God I broke that mold, but the whole hoarding instead of working is a disease. So make
Yeah.
sure if you are one of those people, I'm not pointing at you, Patrice, I'm pointing at the
at the
viewers,
camera,
that
right?
you stop
Viewers.
hoarding and you start hooking.
Yeah, yeah.
They're both fun. Now, you know what happened yesterday, Hayley? I'm staying away because it's like still the days
Oh,
of
yeah.
the, you know what, I'm not supposed to say it because they'll cut the video. I did a review video yesterday on some of the best rugs of the week, and I don't know if you saw it yet,
I haven't.
but one of the girls, Kira, now it'll come back, Mercer,
Oh,
had
okay,
bought
yeah.
your pattern of a cat, and it was
Oh,
called
yes,
Cat Trees.
Yes, she's lovely.
And that was, yeah, she said she was from Massachusetts,
She
but that she
is.
mail orders with you.
Yes.
And she's a beginner.
Yeah, she's
And
doing
she did a
such
beautiful
good
job. Yeah, it was a beautiful rug, not too big, something like this,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Of a cat sleeping with like mice and birds
Yeah.
around. It came out really well. It was a
Cat
great
trees.
beginner
Yeah,
pattern.
and she's really knocking it out of the park too. I absolutely, one of my favorite things about being an online seller and an in-person seller, but not as much in 2020, is those relationships. You know, I always tell people, I'm like, you buy something from me, you don't even have to buy something from me, but you start that dialogue with me and I'm there for you. I really like to, like I said, I do a lot of things catered to beginners, so I will help you through,
Yeah.
challenges or questions, or just if you want to show off what
Yeah,
you made, like
exactly.
just send it to me. I'm here.
Confidence building is such a huge
Yes.
part of this. For me, with rug hooking, there's so much information,
Mm.
and the business of rug hooking and the joy of rug hooking has been controlled for so long by such a narrow group of people.
It's true.
And there's been for so many years kind of like a feeling that doing the newer style of rug hooking, colorful, whimsical, is not somehow as good or the same as doing the very traditional Pearl McGowan school,
Right.
certified everything.
Yeah, there's a tad of that.
It's so good to get away from that. And
Yeah.
it's so good for people that are starting with that in their head to have multiple people say to them, forget all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick something you
Yeah,
like.
so true.
Pick the colors you like and get going.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be beautiful. When you get so consumed with rules, it's so daunting that you never start.
Yeah.
Or you do start and you hate what you're working on because it doesn't live up to what your expectation is
Right.
because of something that someone else has
Right, because you've
given you.
seen this or that, and
That has to end.
oh, I think so too. And so when I do some shows, again, not as much as 2020, but a lot of times I travel and do shows, and I always bring something to work on, and people, you know, are excited by rug cooking. So they haven't seen it before, and they want to know so much about it. And at times I can see this information getting overwhelming, and I stop and I go, hey, people used to use burlap sacks, a window frame that they'd staple their pattern to, and a bent nail. Don't
Exactly.
get overwhelmed with the sizes and the this and the that.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
just make art and don't worry so much about
Yeah.
it. And
I think the time to second guess yourself is if a piece of your equipment is playing up so much that it's making life difficult.
oh, that's true.
Then it's time to second guess and put out some probes. What can I do? Do I need something more expensive? Do I need something better? Do I need a better hook? Do I need a different hook? Or if the thing that you're making isn't making you happy, you feel like there's something intrinsically wrong with it, then reach out there.
Yeah.
But certainly start with a positive attitude
Yeah.
of like, I love my pattern and I got this.
Yeah.
Right. If people did this years ago, like you're saying, by lamplight with a bent nail,
Yeah.
you got this.
Exactly.
You can do this.
Exactly.
Especially when you start with a nice kit.
Yeah.
Now let's look at some of your
Oh,
patterns.
absolutely. Well, I have a lot of patterns online. This is just some of what I have left over from some shows. But yeah, let me pull some out and I'll kind of show you.
Oh,
Here's
nice.
I'll show you this one because it's
We were just talking
we
about
were just
this one.
talking about the ornaments there. But I have so
Oh,
many
those are
different
beautiful.
kinds of
Yeah.
patterns.
So this is the ornament one. Oh no, this was different than the ornament one, but it still has the
it's a
motif
little
of the
bit
ornaments.
different, Yeah.
Isn't that great?
It is
And then I
beautiful.
have,
I love the little lights and stuff too.
Yeah, so
Mm.
these are all great for, you know, a number, I'm going to throw out some technical terms at you now, like a number 6 or a number 8 size
Yeah.
rolls, which is what I use in my kits and in my designs mostly. So they're still kind of fall under that primitive realm.
Yeah.
But these are, you know, a little more detailed, but then I have very open ones as well.
Oh, that is so good.
Here, I'll throw this down.
That is
you know,
so good.
Just an open fish pattern.
Yeah, I
and
love
where
it.
you can make whatever kind of swirls and
That's right.
what have you
Absolutely.
in there.
Yeah.
Outline or not, you can shade or
Yeah.
not, you can eyeball it or not. You can
Exactly.
use the painted fabrics
Yeah.
or not. There's
You can
so
really
Yeah.
many things you
let
can
the
do.
color shine and it's a little more abstract.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really have a bit of everything. I have a lot of nautical type patterns being
Rhode
here in
Island.
Rhode Island.
Uh-huh.
So I have lots of boats and
Is
anchors.
there a Rhode Island one?
It's an
I have
anchor.
anchors.
Oh.
There's nothing that specifically says
Yeah,
Rhode
this
Island.
is a great
but-
one too. But
Yeah.
just anybody living on the water, like so many of us, that hook.
Yeah.
that really
Oh
speaks
yeah,
to you.
people like to make them for
Yeah,
you
so many
know,
people like
water
anchors.
homes and things. And actually, this rug was made by my mom. So I'm not sure. I come from like a lineage of rug hooking.
Really?
So my mom's rug hooking artist named Hayley Perry,
Oh gosh.
and she also sells kits and designs.
Oh
and
my
things.
gosh. Okay,
online.
great.
Well,
Yeah,
this
so look
was
for
this
Sharon
a
Perry,
this is
too.
a family business, right?
Yeah, yep. And so,
Okay.
so we kind of like work together, but also separate. So she has her own online business. I have my own
Oh,
online
okay.
business, but she'll come to shows with me.
Does she have a space?
No, she just works out of her home. So it's
Okay.
always been kind of like a hobby, sort of part-time thing.
Yeah.
And then my aunt is actually Deanne Fitzpatrick up in Nova Scotia.
Oh, how
Is
funny!
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's super celebrity.
Yeah. So you know, I have some very
So it is a super
inspirational-
family thing, yeah.
inspirational women.
This
in my
reminds me of her,
family.
the houses. Of course,
Yeah.
all houses now remind
Let me
me
see
of
the
her.
houses.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Where's
So-
the house?
This one.
Houses.
It's like a little
Oh, I
village
love
rock.
that.
Yeah, it has
Yeah,
the feeling
super
of
cute.
Europe or Canada.
Yep.
And here's another great fish one.
Yeah,
I
lots
love
of
that
fish.
one.
The fish is gives you so much opportunity, right?
It does. It does. It's got that kind of tessellated repeat thing
Yeah.
going. There's so many possibilities there. It's such a cool composition too.
Thank you.
That's really nice. Yeah, you've got some real beauties. The octopus has a
you.
lot of character.
Yeah, I have octopus and crab. You know, again, it's that water thing.
Yeah, well,
But,
it's good. You know, it's, location-wise, there's a lot of people here who care a lot about place. Rhode Islanders prefer to stay in Rhode Island.
Yeah,
And I
right.
can say that because I'm a Rhode Islander originally.
Not go too far. Although I do have people who seek me out. So I'm not sure if you
Okay,
said
nice.
my studio's in Rhode Island, in Warren, Rhode Island.
Hmm.
And
31 Cutler Mill?
yeah, 30 Cutler Street.
Oh, 30 Cutler
And
Street.
I'm studio 216A. I'm open by appointment right now, although before 2020 I did have some open hours, and I would do classes and things like that. But now that's just, I put everything online so people can buy it there and then come pick it up from me and what have you. But I've had people come from a couple hours away. I've had people come from the islands. They'll come make an appointment with me. So
Good,
people
yeah.
who do rug hooking, they really search you out. Maybe you see the same,
Yeah, it is. Well, people tend to find someone who they like personally too.
Yeah.
And if they like your style, they go with your style.
Right.
That's why I am so not for a competitive, cutthroat
Oh, sure.
world in rug hooking. Because
Absolutely.
everybody's style is different, and
Right.
it's so good to cross over.
Definitely.
I just on my way here bought a pattern from someone else that I really shouldn't be doing because I should
Oh.
be doing my own patterns for my business. But I'd love
Which
to
are
do other
beautiful,
people's.
by the way.
Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah.
But I love to do other people's patterns, and I
Yeah.
love to use other people's wool.
Yeah.
And it's nice to cross-pollinate with everything, right? I mean, it's so cool
It
to.
makes you a better artist.
It does. It makes you a better artist,
Yeah.
and the more that we promote rug hooking between ourselves, the more people who rug hook,
That's so true.
and the more people who are generally looking for people like me and Hayley who sell stuff and make stuff and have original stuff going on. There should just be more hookers out there.
Yeah.
There's just not enough people who know how much fun this is.
It's true.
It's true. And
Now,
how
are
easy
you
it is.
part of a guild where you are? or
I
anything
belong
like
to
that?
3 AFAs, and I'm
Okay.
also a member of the Little Rhodey Thrummers.
Oh, okay, me too.
Yeah,
Yes.
so the AFA group in Rhode Island is no longer an AFA group. They became a group called the Little Rhodey Thrummers. And they haven't been meeting regularly
No,
lately, so
not
it's been a
this
little
year,
while.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But what a nice group of ladies. The
They're
last
lovely.
time I went there, there was a demonstration on how to repair an old rug.
Okay.
And it was super thorough. And I'd seen this before at the Beauport House in Gloucester, Massachusetts. I went for the tour there, and I watched the art restorer actually restoring the rug. And as good as she was, I mean, she's obviously amazing
Yeah.
and employed. And
Yeah.
I didn't get it. But I
Okay.
got it when I went to that Little Rhodey thing. Maybe it was the set. Maybe I'm a 2-time person.
Sure, yeah.
I got it when she was doing it there. It was so helpful to see someone doing that in person. And I think that's probably what we all miss about getting together for meetings. Is those
Yeah,
moments of
it's
not only
true.
contact and socializing, but those moments of connection with your brain, figuring new things out in a craft where there's so much to know.
Yes.
And the only way that you can improve is to compare yourself to yourself and to get better on your own clock. And when you hear something that someone says, like making a little repair, and it
Yeah.
suddenly clicks, that's a whole new world.
The
of things that
brainstorming.
I can do.
Mm.
So yeah, that's what I really miss about these meetings
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
But
Mm.
we'll get back there eventually.
we will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
Really be
important
partners.
in society.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That people like miss it because they
Yeah.
don't really know it's so important.
No.
Because it
And-
is a brainstorming thing for the artist
It
to
is.
run things off of other people.
Yeah, this is
So
very
important.
abstract, but I think everybody who's probably watching this video is an artist and is creative and knows this feeling that sometimes somebody says something and it clicks. It's like
Oh,
church,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
It clicks all of a
Absolutely.
sudden. It's like
Mhm.
maybe you've heard it 1,000 times, but you say it differently than I
Yeah,
say it.
yeah,
And then
right.
then you have a bunch of new customers because
Yeah.
they got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody's
Yeah,
unique.
and it's like you turn a corner.
yeah.
Mhm.
You do. You turn it
Yeah.
I would say
Mhm.
just about everybody that comes through here who is either interested in primitive rug hooking or maybe they're even interested in doing a different style. I always tell them about the guild in Rhode Island, but also other guilds if they're coming from further away. And just say like, hey, there's a lot of knowledge outside of me. Like,
Yeah.
go explore it, and don't get yourself overwhelmed. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of really nice people that want to teach you rug hooking. For every
Mm.
time that you meet somebody who might be a little closed off in their style, there's 10 more people who are just happy to see you get started with it.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, there are many art careers that are not so, I guess, what is it?
Welcoming?
Yeah, right?
It's true.
Like,
It's true.
yeah, I could name a few, I won't.
Yeah.
But,
right. And I come from a fine art world, so it's like I kind of see those.
Yeah, like,
sort of
no
styles.
competitive spirit. We'll just break that wall down.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I come from a theater world where everything's competitive.
Oh yeah, I
So
bet,
yeah, I
right?
mean, it's like
Yeah.
polar opposites.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so important to support each other. And have you ever seen a really bad rug in your life?
I mean, no, because
They're all unique
They're
and
all
different and
unique and
special. I mean,
beautiful.
even old ratty ones that are skunky and falling apart, still beautiful.
you learn from them, and you just see what you kind of. They all tell a story of like where people were at, and
Yeah.
you know the fact that they are old and dirty. It's like they've been used.
Yeah, it's,
You know,
it's
they've
part
been
of the
out
story
there.
of that rug.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see so many people lately restoring rugs, like the
Yeah,
Thrummers
sure.
Group, but also cleaning rugs or
Yeah.
doing replicas, right?
Oh,
That's another
sure.
big one.
Yeah.
So many people now tracing old patterns out for the sake of history and capturing that
Yeah.
slice of history.
Writing books about it.
Yes,
You know,
yeah,
is the other
keeping it,
thing.
keeping it all documented
Yeah.
because it is a huge part of North American history. It is ours exclusively, and there's not a lot of things that we can say are
Yeah,
ours.
that's true.
So it's
That's true.
special. Yeah, it's real special. So is there anything else you want to show us? We love the patterns. There's the patterns, the wool, the smaller stashes of wool.
Yeah.
Do you want to show us anything you're working on?
Oh, well, you know, I actually do most of my hooking at home.
Mhm.
I work on a Chetty camp frame, and I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know if people are familiar with that, but you can always Google it if you're not sure what that is. Chetty camp frame. And it's the one that my aunt Deanne Fitzpatrick uses, came from her studio. But here at the studio, when I do have time to work, I work on one of these gripper frames. And yeah, but I don't hook here as much when I'm here. I'm more in production mode and you know, teaching people
Yeah.
and making kits and stuff like that.
It's
So
super time intensive.
yeah.
Patrice, get that Christmas tree there too.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
this is my
too
Christmas
much. Too much.
tree pattern. It's a pattern and a kit again.
So
Oh,
cute.
man.
Yeah, this is one of my earlier ones actually. You can kind of tell by some of the hooking. It's a little bit different. I like to point that out to people when they come, especially if they're beginners. Some of my beginning hooking, it's a little bit tighter than some of my more recent hooking. So you change.
You
You
get
grow.
Yeah.
us to pack a little bit more, and some people never stop doing it. It's just
It's
something
true.
to be conscious of.
Yeah.
It's the same
It
thing
actually
with
looks
knitting.
like my hooking.
Oh yeah, yeah. And but yeah, and then you can my other.
But you've done, you've done the backgrounds differently here. Like
Yeah.
you've got a much thinner cut with the
Yes.
background here, and on this one, which I'm assuming is a later one, not because of style or anything you pointed out, you've got a more primitive cut.
more
You've got an
primitive
8
cut.
all the way in the background.
That's
there.
right. Yeah,
So-
everyone changes a little bit more.
It does, and I would never think that was a beginner rug anyway.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, yeah, it's
but
just-
it's just nice. It's nice to kind of show people that in a way, an evolution, whether it's not really in one way or another. It's just
You get
you
better
grow
and
and
better, but
change.
you
Yeah.
should always compare yourself to yourself, right? Don't compare yourself to Pearl McGowan. Don't do
exactly.
that because it's not going to work out. Compare
Yeah,
yourself
like
to
my
yourself.
hooking is different than both of these people's hooking.
Yeah, yeah. You should be. It's like side note. Like I'm putting on tons of weight with this COVID thing, and people keep saying, "Don't worry about your weight. You still look great." I'm only comparing myself to myself.
yourself,
because I would
right.
like to wear my pants again.
Yeah,
You know, so
right.
it's not like I'm comparing myself
Oh my
to
gosh.
like Christy Brinkley. Like,
Yeah.
you know, although maybe she's, I don't know, it's like my mindset is like in the 80s, but just myself to myself, and the same with the hooking. I
Yeah.
mean, you evolve according to hopefully your tastes.
Yeah.
And don't evolve
Oh, that's a really
according
good
to
point.
what you're reading in Rug Hooking Magazine or what people are telling you style-wise is the way that you should hook. You should hook according to what you love, and everything that you make, each one should be more and more your style.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, even if you're using other people's patterns,
Yeah.
it should be more you each time.
Yeah, what
you,
you love.
you. Yeah,
Like
nobody
you said,
else.
using
yeah.
what you love to make what you want.
And that's why it's great to use different things like your roving and yarns and
Yeah,
things. And,
yes.
and something like the tree is great if you have fancy fibers or roving or
Oh,
other things.
sure.
Because it's great for scraps.
Sparkles. You
Sparkles
can
at
see some
Christmas.
sparkles
All
going
of those,
in there,
yeah,
right?
metallic
Yeah.
threads and yarns. If
Yeah.
they're too thin, double them up, quadruple them up. But do something like this with lots of color and lots of possibilities.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous pattern.
Thank you. What are you working on?
I am working on fulfilling orders. I'm
Yes.
way behind because I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old at home.
Yeah, oh
and
my
I'm an old mom,
gosh.
so my energy wanes.
Oh.
But
You are not old.
Well, you're the same age.
I know. I'm not old either.
No, you're right. We're not old. I'm not feeling it.
Absolutely
at all.
not.
No,
but
but
I'm sure this summer, after they were probably home for 3 months, then another 3 months
Exactly.
because of summer. I'm
and it's
sure
been
it's
the
been a
summer
lot.
of apocalyptic heat
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
So
oh
it's,
my gosh,
it's
right?
been I'm working on. I do a kit of the month club,
Oh,
so I
good.
always have to plan forward for that. And I started doing a latch kit of the month
Oh
club.
my gosh.
There's a big demand.
I really like the latch hook thing.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
think they're amazing.
You know, it's something different, and from talking to people,
So creative.
Thank you. Abstract. I think that's the way latch works best, is if it's abstract, because it's a bit more artful, I think, in the end.
And it's got that shag.
Just
It's
knowing that you can
controls.
paint your own too.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can add things to it. But I think a lot of people struggle with overtime and Me Too hand stuff.
Okay.
So, you know, you're doing your hooking and then you switch to punch because your wrist is giving you a little trouble, or your thumb is giving you a little trouble on your underneath hand. And it's nice to just take a break and do a completely different motion in latch that's still rug making, and it's still going to go on the wall or the floor or whatever, but it's a different motion again. So you're just giving, for me, it's my thumb underneath and it's my wrist on top.
Okay.
So when you give yourself a break trying out different things like that,
Yeah.
you give yourself more time that you can do your craft instead of taking time off.
Mhm.
Because sometimes that can be more time off than you mean to take.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
yeah.
think your latch hook kits are just more exciting than the ones that you might find in the store.
Unless you
Oh,
want a
God,
cat playing
yeah.
with a ball of yarn. If you want a cat playing with a ball of yarn, I don't have that. But I have like nice.
Right, it's just a different
nature
style.
scapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just different. for
Does that
now.
mean that you cut all the
Uh-huh.
little? Oh gosh.
I wasn't going to cut all the latch
Yeah.
pieces, but at the end of the day, you know, I was measuring them out to get the exact, and I thought, how much more time is it going to take me to just cut them? I was going to give everybody like a gauge where they would wrap it around like you were pom-pom making and then just cut on top. And it honestly, for each kit, probably took me an extra 15 minutes, not even to just cut the wool. So I thought, let me just do this, and maybe in the future I won't, but for now.
Can you do the latch hook kit with strips of wool, right?
You definitely can. You don't have to use yarn to latch hook. So the latch hook kit that I already released is the Cape Cod Late Summer. It's like a landscape with cranberry and Ragosta type bushes in the front, all pinks. And then like a layer of sand and a layer of water, and then a bar of trees in the background, like distant islands, and then the sky. So it's like shelves of color. You could do, I did a lot of that with yarn because there were possibilities of showing branches and berries sticking out with these fancy fibers from like the craft store, the regular craft store. But you could equally have done that pattern or any pattern by cutting up your t-shirt. I would never cut this t-shirt, obviously. But cutting up a different t-shirt or your kids' clothes or anything from the thrift store, you can easily hook or latch hook with shreds of t-shirt or anything.
Yeah, the same like a 2-inch strip.
Yeah, the only thing I would say about latching with wool strips is you can, but it's going to be expensive
Right.
because it's
Yes.
going to be a huge amount. It's already expensive.
Because it's like every strip is, you know,
It's huge and
just
long.
for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about a
Yeah.
2 inches of strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were really rich.
you know, and if you've got
Or
tons
had
of
it.
worms that you're,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, you
or
just
do a
add them.
mixer or something.
Yeah.
There are
A
people
little
who are
bit of
drowning
proddy.
in worms. If you're
Yeah.
afraid you're going to die in your sleep because your worms are covering your face, start latch hooking with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Save your life. Save your life by latch. But yeah, you can do anything with anything. There's no hard and fast rules. Try it. If it works, it's not going to rip the back of your latch hook canvas because it's like a heavy cotton. I couldn't rip that if I tied it to the back of the car and pulled away from the garage. It's not going to rip.
I don't think I've ever seen canvas.
It's super
latch hook.
thick.
Wow,
It
that
really
sounds
is.
awesome.
It's like, hard hat glued to a
Yeah.
pipe and hanging from it and supporting my weight.
Wow.
It's super strong. So you won't break it. You can try different stuff with
That's
it.
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there was that material.
It's really strong. It's not cheap. That's one of
Yeah.
the things about the latch hook backing. It's not cheap. It's as expensive as rug hooking backing. So that's
Sure.
a bit surprising.
Yeah.
You could always buy a latch hook from a thrift store and just turn it over, right, and repaint it. So you could do that too to save money because buying it and starting from scratch is an investment a little
Yeah.
bit, like
But-
anything else.
Do you do a lot of recycling in your work?
I do a little bit. I used to
Yeah.
do more. So
Yeah,
I'm a
same.
new rug hooker too.
Okay.
Not like you, like some of the people watching.
Uh-huh.
And I started by when the stores were all open. You know, I'm a huge antique or thrifter.
Yeah.
So going to Savers and Goodwill and picking up stuff, cutting it, ripping it, whatever worked, and using it that way. But I quickly learned about washing it to full it to make it thicker, so it was easier to work with.
Yeah.
So that was a huge pratfall for me at the beginning. And then when I even figured out how to full the wool that I was about to use, I figured out that with wools that were unpredictable, older, I didn't know they were where they were from and what their properties were. they can shred a lot.
Yes.
So you have a plaid that you love and you want to use because it's special and it's the premise for your design, and every time you
Yeah,
hook
it
it,
can be
75
frustrating.
shreds.
Yeah.
So those kind of things for me are sometimes speed bumps because I have to move so fast. But I love the idea of using recycled
Sure,
stuff,
yeah.
and I love over dyeing. I love over dyeing your own noodles, your own
Yeah.
strips to get new colors. I think it's a great thing right now to recycle, especially with all the church stores, thrift things being shut this year. There's less thrift things open. Of course, there's the online marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace. You can find a lot of old clothing and material in your local area without even thinking about shipping. So it is fun to do, but when you're working with recycled stuff, I think you have to be a bit cognizant that it might not come out exactly as you planned, and the fiddle factor might be so high that it might aggravate you.
It's kind of like what you're saying about you can use, like whatever you find, but you don't want to make it so hard for yourself that you're not going to enjoy the process.
That's right.
But I'm with you. Like I used to, and I still do from time to time, go find recycled things just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
But I end up like saving the wools because I'm like, it's this one of a kind piece, and then I'll
Exactly.
lose it in like this tiny little spot somewhere.
Exactly.
And I end up not using it as much as I think I will.
Well, you can always save it, and if you find something special, like we're going to go along the main street later, and there's little stores. If I found something in there, like a shirt that I love, then I would remember this day.
Yeah,
And then I would
right.
save it, and I would want to use it because it was like something from a day that was special. There's so much of that too.
Yeah.
But I would encourage you to try anything. I even tried latch hooking with twine, like to tie packages, because I thought this could be something like brown bag look, you know?
Right.
But it was actually too hard to pull through. It would have been majorly difficult and a huge time pig. So you make these decisions as you go along. Experiment and make decisions as you go along.
There was somebody, actually I think there were a couple rug hooking artists, and I'm going to be terrible because I can't remember either of their Instagram handles right now, but there are a couple people on Instagram who were experimenting with looping different materials every day.
Ooh, how cool.
Instagram is a wonderful place to find other rug hooking artists because all you have to do is search that tag rug hooking and you get just about everybody who's on Instagram who does rug hooking. So I've met a ton of friends. Are you on Instagram?
I am, yeah.
Okay, well I'm not sure. I think we do follow each other.
Yeah.
And on Facebook too, but I think Instagram.
Again, I think for that reason, Instagram is still.
Yeah.
And then I'll splice it.
So we were just talking about Instagram, and I was saying I think Instagram is even better for finding other rug hookers just because it's so easy to search those specific tags.
Yeah, I think weirdly, because Facebook is a bigger site, I think weirdly, like the search features are more refined with Instagram. Like your feed will be all rug hooking if that's what you put in.
Yeah.
It's easier to find other rug hookers. Where on Facebook, you can type in search rug hooking, and you get like someone who sells bananas in a shoe store, and then you got one person who rug hooks. It's like, come on, really?
It's a little more difficult, although there are some really great Facebook groups that I'm a part of too.
Yeah, what are some of your favorites?
Contemporary rug hooking is a great one. My aunt has one called Wild with Wool. There's some other ones like the Woolly Mason Jar.
They're great. They're great with their dyeing and with the
Yeah. And what's the local one?
Searsport.
No, it's the
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yes.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
What's the name of that company again?
I think is that Searsport?
No, that's the Rhode Island.
Yeah,
girls. It's something
yeah.
Seaside.
Yes,
rug
yes.
hooking?
Yes.
Florida now, right?
It's in like North Kingstown, South
I
Kingstown.
think so.
Yeah. See, it's
Yeah,
they're on
not
your.
a brick and mortar store, but they
Yeah,
have
they
a
have
location.
it online.
And I think she's coming back to Rhode Island. I think that's Debbie.
Well, they are on your.
Yeah, they're on everything too, but that's a great site. I also love sharing the love of rug hooking and hooking with friends.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look up those ones.
Those are two smaller ones, but everybody in there is super nice and friendly.
I think it was like Seaport. I don't know why.
We'll see if we can post it.
Yeah.
You probably already belong. Everybody's
I know,
always
right?
ahead of me with this stuff. But yeah, it's so fun to look for inspiration in those places and on Instagram, on Etsy, on Pinterest, all of these great inspiration places. But don't spend too much time looking for inspiration. Make sure you get hooking too.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
And take a nap after you hook.
Yeah.
Is that your special tip of the day?
Working some naps.
Become unconscious at some point between waking up and going back to bed.
It's really hard work. It really is hard work.
It is. It's good to have a yin-yang, good balance in your life. But certainly this is a good way to relax and express creativity.
Definitely.
Yeah, so if you are in Rhode Island or anywhere near, it is definitely worth giving Hayley a call at Loop by Loop Studio in Warren, Rhode Island.
Yes.
WARR.
Do you have your address anywhere I can
Put a card in
put a little card? Or right here.
Those don't
This-
have my
no.
address on them.
Let's see.
Well, I have my web address right here.
Good.
It might be a
Okay.
little hard
Oh,
to
that's
see.
a nice one.
Thank you. So it's loopbyloopstudio.com, and by
Yeah.
going there, you can find all my contact
Yeah,
info.
and it's 30 Cutler Mill, Warren, Rhode Island.
That's exactly right.
Wow, and you've got the
Yeah.
octopus on there.
Yeah, I do.
And are these the square ones, like these
Those
guys
are
here?
like little coasters.
And
Okay,
those
that's
were
a
my
coaster.
first. That was my first.
This is
one.
what you did first, the coasters?
They were all together.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then you've got your strips
And
because you
then,
sell
yeah,
strips.
Yeah.
And then this is dyed, but also
Yeah.
you're hand painted.
Yes.
This for me is the prestige of the store.
Oh.
I mean, this is
Yeah,
just,
those
like,
are awesome.
so
I've seen Deanna do this
delicious.
stuff.
Oh, I'm so
This
excited.
takes so
I
much
have-
time.
I have coming today a 30-pound roll of roving.
Oh
So
man.
now I'm going to start.
I don't even know
Oh
what
man,
that.
you're giving me stomach cramps
Oh,
now.
I'm so excited.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna,
We're
go and
gonna
have some
camp
drinks
out in the
soon.
hallway.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that nice weather. It's supposed to cool down. I'm gonna set myself up outside and I'm gonna paint it
Oh,
up.
nice.
Right.
weather.
Can't
This
wait.
is such a beautiful little town if you're thinking about making
That's
a day trip.
true,
This is
yeah.
a gorgeous town. It has a beautiful kind of hip-ish main street with coffee shops and cute places to eat, little vintage stores, old storefronts, an old soda fountain store on the corner like a pharmacy.
Yep.
It is super, super quaint, old school.
Become very cool.
It's
And
become very
the
cool.
most amazing restaurants. So it's a great place to pop in for a
Yes.
visit, go on Main Street, and then have lunch
Mhm.
or dinner
That's right.
somewhere.
Yeah, I just ate at the Square Peg not that long
I
ago,
love the
and it was
Square
like
Peg.
better than it was 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good destination. So Haley, it was so nice. Thank you so
Oh
much
my
for
gosh,
having
thank
us.
you
It was
so
really
much.
fun
We got-
coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love talking rug hooking. So
Me
it's so
too, me
exciting.
too.
And thank you, Patrice, for
Yeah.
video
For filming.
with
Let
us.
me
No
turn
problem.
the camera around on you for a minute. Go. This is my friend. Oh, wait a minute. It's still me. It's still me. It's still. This is my friend Patrice. We grew up together, starting in kindergarten, and she's gotten huge into rug hooking too.
Yeah.
This and say. For now, goodbye from me and Haley. We will
Thank you
see
so
you
much.
soon. And I'll put all the links that we talked about into this, the video. Under the ribbon candy hooking thing, you'll see all of the links.
You got it.
And we will see you soon. Get hooking.
I think that's
P.S.
gonna be-
Patrice Sweeney.
That's gonna be my thing. Is the product.
Yeah, I almost ended this video without showing these Proddy flowers.
And they're so easy.
They are so cute.
They're so
And
cute.
I don't know, Patrice, how you walked by this because you were like Proddy
I love
themed.
Proddy.
They're so pretty, and I also want to
My
just show
mom made
these.
With the Proddy hook,
Oh,
and
no
then I make
way.
The ones that are a little flatter, I make with a regular rug hook, which I
Oh.
find just easier.
Yeah, Proddy does take some time and
my mom
patience.
uses that special like spring-loaded hook. You know?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of patience that goes into it.
These are
Yeah.
such pretty pins.
Well,
Come
and it's
on.
making all the petals too. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you got to shape each one.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one. Look at the center.
Yeah,
now.
it
Aw.
looks funner than it is.
Aw. Oh, I'm gonna go shopping too. And I
This
love
is
the
my
fish,
favorite.
right?
Aww.
Let me see your face. Those are your colors. That's
oh, yeah,
why.
You could totally make that.
Those are your colors.
Oh, what a headband.
You know what? That would totally work. You could mount it. You could mount it on like
It
a
looks
bread or
really nice in
something.
your hair color.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those are your colors, man.
I'm excited.
All right. We want to prod you out. We're really going to prod you out now. Bye, guys. See you soon.